This week's edition of Luxury Breaks here on Business FM on the Morning Drive, it is all about the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. It's back on the 17th of May, and what happens is riders from more than 100 countries, I'm told, are going to raise awareness and funds for men's mental health and prostate cancer research. And it's a global movement. It's raised over $60 million since launching, and the UAE plays an increasingly active role. So, joining us this morning, along with Jacek from X Motors, nice to see you, we have a special guest. Mr. Khan is the host for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride in the UAE, here to talk about turning his passion for motorcycles into a platform for awareness and community impact. It's good to meet you.
It's great to meet you. Good morning.
I have to say, first of all, great beard. I am jealous. At some point in my life, I'm trying to get there. It's good to meet you. Let's start with you, actually. I walked out into the office there just now. Motorcycle helmet on the table, backpack, assorted motorcycle accoutrements. You're obviously a rider of some years. This is your thing, huh?
Yeah, it's my first love. Been riding for 20 years plus or so in Dubai. And I think it's just the best and easiest way to get around, you know. And the heat doesn't bother me, if that's going to be something of discussion.
Well, that's the natural way to go. But I'm sort of with you. I've never really ridden motorcycles, but I have a little bit on holiday traveling. And I'm with you because it just strikes me that it is the ultimate way to travel. It's the closest you get to your environment. Because you're part of the environment.
You're part of the environment.
It's a hard thing to put across.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a book I read called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, there's a phrase in there, there's a line in there that says that being in a car is like watching TV because you're inside the vehicle and you're behind a window. Whereas on a motorcycle, you're part of the elements. You smell everything around you, you feel everything around you, and you're one with the machine.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense.
It does.
And that kind of stayed with me, and it made me, kind of realize why I love riding motorcycles. And I love cars too, if it's being driven by somebody else, not me. But
really?
Yeah, motorcycles are my thing.
Well, it's always the thing whenever Jacek's here, he's here every week for this show, but whenever we're talking motorcycles, his first comment is always, why are you talking about something with two less wheels than is necessary? That's your general attitude. But, you can understand there's something about the brotherhood of it, isn't there? There's something about all the subcultures that extend from.
I'm not good in socializing, so maybe
that could be what it is.
Yeah.
You try to close the windows.
Yeah, there's a lot of riders like that too. Who, they start off saying we don't like socializing, and that's fine because when you're on the road, you're not really talking to each other. You're just riding. Your focus is, laser focused on the road. Everything else is kind of a blur, and you're just enjoying the ride.
So you need to achieve a proper speed to get this blur.
Some guys like speed, some guys like cruising, right? And I think going back to what you said about brotherhood, it is somewhat a bit about camaraderie. There are guys, there's a lot of women riding now as well in Dubai. And I think when they get together, the biggest topic of discussion is the motorcycle itself, what kind of customizations they're doing to it, or if it's a vintage bike, what's the heritage of that motorcycle? What was the origin? Why did they change it and bring it back into business? For example, the Triumph Thunderbird from 1995 was a massive achievement for Triumph motorcycles back in the day because that bike kind of put them back on the market. Now, the average Joe might not know that, but the passionate rider would, and that becomes a topic of discussion, which eventually becomes a sit-down, which then evolves into other discussions, and then before you know it, everyone's kind of like checking in on themselves, and it weirdly just brings everyone together, in a community sort of way.
Well, vintage motorcycles, there's a whole subculture and a community in that. I mean, that's your thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The vintage bike.
Yeah. I've got a fairly decent collection of motorcycles. Some of them are newer than the others, and I mean, I embrace technology. I love the evolution of technology. Do I love every side of new tech? Maybe not, but I welcome it. I want to see how motorcycles are evolving, just so that I have the knowledge of it. But yeah, heritage bikes, vintage motorcycles is very much my thing. I think we are the only group in the UAE that kind of champions vintage motorcycles, and we actually ride them as opposed to just having them on display, you know? So that's us. That's the Piston Kings motorcycle community.
Okay, so tell me about your bikes then.
My bikes.
Would I know them?
Well, if I mean, since you're from the UK, you definitely know Triumph.
I would. I was telling you the story. I grew up next to two guys that rode them, real bike community outside the house.
Yeah, and
summer nights were noisy.
Well, that kind of comes with the package, right? The sound. So I ride a Triumph. That's my daily bike. It's a Triumph Bonneville, 2010.
Okay.
And I have a Triumph Scrambler 900 from 2008, which is the last of the carbureted versions. These are two of my favorite motorcycles. I would go anywhere on them.
Yep.
Other than that, there's an adventure bike, which is a Honda Africa Twin, 2019, which I take off-roading, which is great when you kind of, you know, you don't want to ride the roads anymore in Dubai. You get into the mountains, which is more into the Hajar mountain range, the Northern Emirates, as they would say it. So it's great to kind of get off the main road and get onto these trails. And there's hundreds and thousands of them out there. Right? Once you're off-road, it's like a playground for motorcycle riders or four-wheel drives, you know, whatever you fancy.
Sure.
So yeah, those are some of the bikes I've got. I do have my guilty pleasure. I do have a Honda CBR Fireblade from 1999, which was also the last of the carbureted versions, which I acquired in recent years. And it's a 30-year-old bike. It's a sports motorcycle, and it still rides great. And I came across it, and I was like, this was the bike that I couldn't buy when I was a kid. And somebody's selling it, so I kind of said, okay, let me kind of make that, you know, young Khan happy and get this motorcycle. And truth be told, I don't ride it much. It's more like maybe twice a year kind of thing. But it feels good.
You've got the best of both worlds there. The young Khan is happy. You've got the bike that you can look at, and you can also ride it.
Yeah, I do. I took it out the other day to Circle Avenue. But like I said, I'm not a speed freak. I love cruising my motorcycles. I'm probably the slowest rider in my group of friends.
Right.
But I enjoy it. Like I said, you know, it's that example I gave earlier from the book that you just kind of feel like you're one with the elements and the bike.
Yeah, that's certainly a thing. What do you think about Harley Davidsons? Are you have you ever had one? Ever ridden one? Because that community here is huge.
It's huge. I think almost every other motorcycle club in Dubai are mostly Harley Davidson riders.
Yeah,
and of
I was
course,
surprised you didn't mention it there in your bikes. Not surprised, but I half expected you to mention Harley.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if maybe you're not a Harley guy. I think that's where I'm going.
I'm probably not a Harley guy, but I do have a Street Bob from 2013, Harley Davidson, and I have an Electroglide from 2010. The Electroglide is probably the bike the missus loves best because it's so comfortable. It's a touring bike. I do like the Street Bob. It's more like it's kind of turned into a traditional Harley chopper.
Right.
But my heart still always goes to the Triumph. For some reason, the heritage that's there behind Triumph motorcycles is something I gravitate to more. The Cafe Racer era, the Ace Cafe era, the history that comes from there was something that fascinated me when I was young. And it's just like I mentioned earlier, it's a daily bike for me, and it's super comfortable. I mean, you can't go wrong. Plus, if you are the kind of rider who wants to learn the mechanics of a motorcycle and maybe get into self-maintenance and self-care and really learn what's in, you know, what the engine looks like inside out, the Bonneville is a great bike to start with.
Okay. And Triumph, if I'm not mistaken, was the first bike to go round the world. I think, and that was Ted Simon in the early 70s.
Oh wow, I got to
Went
look.
around the world on a Triumph.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was the first to do that. It was certainly among, the first two or three. I know that. Let's talk a bit about the Distinguished Gentleman's
Yeah.
Ride. So, this is not a traditional kind of charity event, is it?
No, it's not a traditional charity event at all, actually, and it only happens once a year. The Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, or DGR for short, originated 15 years ago from Australia by a gentleman called Mark Howa. He's the founder of it, and it was him and a couple of blokes who got together to raise awareness for their friends and people they knew who were, going through a hard time, mentally speaking. And the ride globally is done to raise awareness on men's mental health and prostate cancer research, to be specific, because it's tied with the Movember Charity Foundation. And that's how it started 15 years ago. And fast forward to today, it's taking place in over 1,023 cities all across the globe. The one we represent and host is called DGR Arabia, which happens in Dubai every year. It's on May the 17th, which is a Sunday. And the reason it happens at that time in Dubai is because it happens on the same day all across the world. So we're all celebrating and we're all raising awareness for the same cause at the same time. Hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of riders with vintage and classic motorcycles unite for this wonderful cause, which, let's be honest, I mean, you don't come across a lot of events that are focused purely on men's mental health. It's not something that gets spoken about a lot.
It's hard to talk about.
Yeah,
I think,
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time someone checked in on any of us, right? It's maybe it's your significant other, but other than that, life moves really fast. And before you know it, you're another year older and another year older, and so many things have happened, and no one's really had a chance, or you've not had a chance to just take kind of things slow down, check in on yourself, as opposed to others.
I try and do that now, more and more. I try and be like the grumpy old man sat on the balcony just staring into space. I wonder if that's just me, isn't it? But actually, it makes a really good point, because it's an opportunity to do something you love, get involved with the people around you in your community, whatever that is, whether it's a subculture or not, and to talk about something that's really important that we don't really spend a lot of time thinking about or talking about.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't even think about it because we're busy, with deadlines, or something else. But no, it's we took it over. So every city has its own host. It's happened in Dubai over the years, since 2012. But we, as Piston Kings motorcycle community, took it over 3 years ago. We opted in to be the hosts and said, listen, if we're going to do this, let's do it right, and let's really raise awareness, as opposed to it being just another weekend ride where you get together for breakfast. And some of the team worked really hard on it. Since last year, we got endorsed by the Emirates Motorsports Organization. We've had Dubai Health Authority come on board. We've got the Dubai Sports Council come on board. And, it's great to see that these government institutions recognize the cause, and they're part of this project and this event. There's a massive fun element to it where, as the name says, everyone kind of comes as a gentleman, which means that you put on your best outfit.
You dress up, don't you?
You dress up, you dapper up, right?
Okay.
I mean, to see everyone do that from the ages of, as young as, 18 to 60 and get together, it's quite a spectacle. It's not a motor show, it's not a fashion show, it's really something different, something else. And everyone kind of gets together that way, openly talking about the cause, openly talking about their motorcycles, which everyone loves anyway when they're in the community, and really raise awareness and funds for this special cause, which is men's mental health and prostate cancer research.
Okay, so you dress up and you ride. What else happens on the 17th?
Every city kind of has its own, let's say, activities that they attach to the project. What we do is we kind of have the small awards kind of ceremony where we give away prizes for the best dressed male, best dressed female. There's a lot of females who join the ride in support of their brothers, their husbands, their friends. We give prizes for the most heritage and well-kept motorcycle. We've got partners on board from Dubai who kind of help support and bring this event to life. They've got their own activities that they're doing with photo booths and photo walls and interviews at the event, kind of checking in on all the guys, asking them how they're doing. We've got F&B outlets coming on board, slashing out their prices just so that they could kind of do their bit of CSR and kind of give back to the community. So it's quite a gathering, and it's family friendly. If I haven't mentioned that earlier, it's not a ticketed event. It's open to the public, right? So anyone can come and experience this. And it's not just the riders themselves. There's obviously a ride attached to it, which is a 30-minute loop ride within the city of Dubai. So we kind of go across town. But then when we're not riding and we're getting together, it's kind of really welcoming to each other and letting members of the public also kind of feel welcomed and be inclusive and be part of it and understand why we're doing it. So there's a lot happening on that one day. Yeah.
Well, there is. I mean, where does it start? Because I mean, not everybody's a motorcycle rider, but I guess people would want to come down to see the bikes. Get involved. So where would you go to get involved?
In previous years, we'd always have two locations, let's say point A and point B, because we'd ride from point A to point B.
Right.
We realized that people who are not riding either come to one of those locations, either at the starting point or the ending point. So this year, for the first time, we kept it as one location, and we worked really close with EMSO, which is the Emirates Motorsports Organization, as well as RTA to create this beautiful inner city route, which lasts about 30 minutes, right? So while the event officially starts around 3 p.m., the ride itself happens around the 5 p.m. mark. It lasts 30 minutes, and all the riders take a loop of the city and come back to the same location.
Gotcha.
So while the guys are out there riding, members of the public can still continue with the activities that are happening at the venue. And once the entire convoy comes back, and believe me, I'm not kidding when I say this, to see 300 plus riders all dressed up in their best outfits arrive at the same time, it's quite a spectacle. I mean, in the past 2 years, I've seen people just flip out their phones and cameras, and they just can't get enough of it. And I think that itself makes the riders kind of feel good. It makes them feel proud of their motorcycles. It makes them feel proud of the friends that they're riding with, and it makes them feel proud of the reason why they're riding.
You can see that because an event like this is to raise awareness about men's mental health, about prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And if you create an environment, a positive environment around that, you get a more open conversation, a more accepting
100%.
Conversation, don't you? I
100%.
suppose. Where's the venue? By the way?
It's called 25 Jump Street.
Right.
It's called 25 Jump Street, the central area, which is literally between Dubai World Trade Center and the Museum of the Future.
Right.
If anyone knows the 25-hour hotel, it's right behind that.
Yeah.
People can go, if anyone's interested to ride and be part of the convoy, they have to register on DGRArabia.com. It's a free registration. The reason we do that is so that we can keep count of the number of riders, and we can allow our marshal team and the leadership team to make sure that they take control of the entire convoy, because 300 riders being on the road at the same time is not an easy task to manage. But
it's a full road.
It's pretty much the entire road. Last year we were escorted by Dubai Police and EMSO. So we had their support on the road. We take into all the health and safety considerations. We've got an ambulance following us. We've got a recovery truck following us. All of this happened last year. The year before that, we didn't have any of that. And we were just, a bunch of guys in the motorcycle community trying to put this together. Yeah. And it's kind of becoming a full-time job, but at the same time, because we're passionate riders, it's just fun to organize for us.
Yeah.
And we take pride in it. 25 Jump Street is the location. That's where everyone congregates. That's where we celebrate. And that's where we get together.
What do you think, Jacek? Good.
You've been
Do you
quiet.
really want my,
I know
do you really want my opinion?
I'm not sure that I do really, but I'm aware that you're.
I think I killed
listening.
this little boy, which was excited about this kind of events many years ago. So it doesn't exist inside my mind anymore.
It's not enough wheels for you on the vehicle, is it?
It's
That's the issue.
sorry to say, for me would be the waste of time
Okay.
because I wouldn't change the world.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of commuting. I'm sitting on a bicycle or sitting on a bike or sitting in a car. When you're making around a few laps, doing nothing, it's like a commuting, which I can spend on different things. And okay, as I told you, I'm not
You
good in
can.
socializing. So the crowd, so many people, it's nothing which I like. So it's nothing.
But the cause is the key here, and I think that's what's important. If you're not a motorcycle guy or you're not a social guy, the cause is the important thing, I think, because you would say yourself, we don't talk about stuff that bothers us.
And
that's
also,
very much
don't
a
you think
male thing.
the gentleman and the vintage bike rider is oxymoron?
I don't. No, I can
Because
see this.
you said you remember these
No,
two
I don't
guys
agree
we were
with you.
sitting next to your house when you've been young, okay? Those guys are loud, noisy, okay?
They were, yeah.
Sometimes making some harsh, right? And now we trying to tell about them, gentlemen.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing with biking, right? Mr. Carr, let me make a case for you here, right? These two guys, Gary and Graham were their names, right? They both had bad motorcycle accidents, unfortunately, and stopped riding. But they were just young biker guys. But they've moved into different roles in industry. They're sort of quite gentlemanly now, and I think that's the cause. Because this is biking to me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Bike is like a lifestyle choice. This is what you do this because you love this. This is kind of part of you in a very different way to driving a car. Driving a car,
I understand
to most
this one.
of us,
If I will be
is functional.
nearby and I will see this parade, I will tell, okay, walking nearby with my wife, I'll tell, okay, see those guys trying to be gentlemen, but those are the same guys with the noisy bikes in this cars.
Yeah, but
Right?
the young men, young women, we all make mistakes. We grow up into different people.
But
These are the things you have to
the
do.
young
It's a rite of
the
passage.
young generation, you're right.
Yeah.
Young generation doesn't understand what is the gentleman. So
Yeah, but you become a lady or a gentleman, don't you? You grow into that role.
on a
And there's no
noisy,
reason why-
Harley Davidson in the leather jacket, gentleman.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? You don't have to
we can
pigeonhole
consider
everybody.
to be a gentleman as a state of mind. Okay.
Yeah.
But all this entourage, which is connected to be a gentleman, there is no connection between a noisy Harley Davidson, let's say, okay, or Triumph.
I'm not sure that Harley Davidson rider would agree with you on that.
I can say there's personally more than 300 riders who you can come and see a week from now who might not agree with you. But I think, like you said, it's a matter of perspective. And I mean, if it feels something you can relate to, then I think someone like you should definitely come there just to kind of understand the cause, but also the camaraderie. And I mean, if you're a motorhead yourself, since you're into cars, you might find a passion for something you didn't know existed. You know?
Yeah, but
Maybe.
for me, the passion to the cars is also the speed, the adrenaline.
Sure.
There is no adrenaline in the cruising.
Sure. And one can argue that maybe speed's connected too much to safety.
Yes, it should be.
It should be, right?
It has to be on the
Yeah,
edge. If
yeah.
it's too close
Yeah.
to it's close to the edge or even outside of the edge, it's better.
Sure.
If it's not close enough to the edge, there's no adrenaline.
Yeah.
So-
Well, think of this as us being over the edge too, right?
There's something about two wheels. There is. There's something that makes you smile.
I have a friend who is riding on sport motorbikes. He started, was 40, something like that. He bought the first motorbike, a simple one, then step by step, he reached the level when he's going on the track days every week. He bought a special trailer. He bought also the car to tow this trailer. So, and I understand he had a serious accident last year, recovering half a year, close to that. And he said, I'm selling everything. And I saw a month ago to post on a Facebook. I'm on a racing track again. That's the adrenaline, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay? But if adrenaline is any kind of commuting, riding, slowing down, and socializing, it's not connected to this smell of petrol, smell of burned rubber, something like this. So it has to be rushed. It's like Formula One is now coming to be like. I don't want to use
you
improper
lament
words.
those
but,
days, I know that, yeah. But you're a cyclist, so you understand the idea of riding with, your brothers.
yeah, but I have a problem because a part of the cycling is to be to have endurance rides, okay, to boost up your potential. But I like when we are riding very fast, very close to each other. It's very easy to break your bones in this moment.
Yeah, no,
So
no.
if there is no speed, there's no fun. Same on MTB bikes. I'm going every week, and if I'm not coming without falling down, I failed.
Yeah, but that's you. You're an adrenaline junkie, aren't you? You're after the rush. You are. I mean, if you're a hypercar, supercar,
maybe
speed.
I have this limit just higher than others, and I need to have a kind of boost. But if something is just a gathering, talking, chatting, it's not interesting. And like you said, the time is going very fast, and losing a time or such a thing is like wasting your life.
Sure.
We have a very limited time in our lives,
we do.
so
We do.
I want to spend it as fast as possible.
Sure.
Then wait for something.
What are you waiting for?
Waiting for something, riding on a bicycle with a slow parade.
Sure. I mean, it's slow because it's 300 guys riding at the same time. But like I said, it's not more about the ride.
Ride a bike, go to the desert, and
Yeah.
speed up as fast as possible.
Sure, do that. That's what the guys are doing the remaining 364 days of the year.
I wouldn't call myself the gentleman this moment.
That is, I'm not going to argue with that on you. I wouldn't call you a gentleman either, but hey, here you are, you're
Set
looking
him up, he
great.
knocks him down. I like that. But this is a different thing. I mean, this is the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. It's on the 17th of May. It's at
25 Jump Street.
25 Jump Street, which is a kind of trade centre,
Yeah,
just a little bit more towards Museum of the Future, if you want to get involved. And talk about prostate cancer. It's an important cause, very important cause, and of course, mental health for us males of the
Yeah.
species as well.
Yeah.
For a change, I suppose. That's a good thing to do, I think. Mr. Khan, I'm
sir.
calling you an ambassador, a host for DGR in the UAE. Good to talk to you.
It's lovely talking to you. Thanks for having
Appreciate
me
you coming
here.
in.
Yeah. No,
And Jacek, as always,
Opposite.
as always opposite, but nonetheless a pleasure to see you. Good to have you here.
thanks. See you on the 17th.
Okay.
Bring your family if you feel like.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
get
you.
you a ticket. This is Mirror Business FM.